I'll start off by saying like those are two very good speeches. I guess it will leave us all pondering questions and yeah, we make interesting voting. Okay, so my first question is, if elected, I mean it's directed to both of you, so you guys can choose whoever to respond first. So if elected, what is the main change that we'll see in the society? Who wants? Wai Fung, why don't you go first?
Okay, so just now I mentioned about finances, and well, I think finances is more important because I mean people is to an extent beyond our control. You know, we have fewer Malaysian freshers this year. I mean, there's only so much we can do to promote Durham in Malaysia and get more freshers. So I think we focus on doing what we can do, definitely do it well. So finances, I think we can do very careful planning. And yeah, I didn't have time in my speech to go into detail, so I'll go into detail now. I think what we can do, you have an RSVP system where, let's say, member or non-member, you have to pay in, say, £5 to sign up for an event. And you can get the £5 back in cash when you go to the event. That way, you know people will definitely go. And if you order the food for them and they don't turn up, you haven't really lost too much. So I think that is just one example of, you know, much more precise and very deliberate, careful financial planning. So I guess that would be my main focus.
Okay.
What I find is that I find DUMAS is not very well recognized in Durham, especially because when I tell them I'm from Malaysia, and they're like, oh, do you have a Malaysian society and stuff like that. So my main aim is to tell people basically that we do have a Malaysian society. This is what we do. Our culture is totally different from yours. We are very unique. So I would want to organize my events in a larger scale, let other people invite other people to come in our events and let them see what my events is all about, so that they can know that we exist and we can start having collaboration with other universities then.
Okay. So for this, so Wai Fung will have a more financially sound society, Deepti will have a more recognized society. Is that right?
Can I just comment? I think they are not. They complement each other. If more people know your society, then potentially you can get more members, or more people turn up, you get more money. So I think, you know, each promotes the other.
I mean, I just wanted to know, like, where can we see the society going with this? But yeah, thank you. Next question. You both talked about like broadening our sponsorship base in your manifesto, in your speeches. So can you give us some ideas of how you would go about that? So we'll start with Deepti.
As I say in my speech, I've already thought about some companies, and because I've been a president before, so I did get sponsors last time for my events last time. Mm-hmm. So I'm sure that if now I propose to them again, the proposal has to be really good, and I bet you that they would at least help me out a little.
But I mean, can you give us some detail about, yeah, we can all write a proposal, but I mean, is there a target? Well, how are you going to sell the society?
It depends on the event specifically, what I want to do and why I want them to sponsor me for this event.
Okay.
So one event I wanted to do was a charity program. So I can go to them and tell them that if you would help me to sponsor this, then I could help out the people in need, kind of a thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. In terms of sponsorship, I think it really depends on who you're looking to approach for sponsorship. I was thinking one idea is you can approach graduate employers in Malaysia. Now, I think some of them sponsor like Imperial and all those huge Malaysian societies. Obviously, we don't have the scale, but I think if we can, say, gather some data on what areas we are studying, say a lot of us doing accounting and finance, are there employers we can go to who say, you know, we are happy to cut your literature, like some of your promotional, recruitment brochures to here. We can, you know, really advertise it a lot. We can put it out. We can, you know, I don't think it's not too much of a cost on us. But if they're willing to give us a bit of cash for that, then I think it's worth it.
So, next question also relates to finance. So basically, for the past year, we had a very like very disappointing level of DSU grants. So basically we got like £200 to run the society for the entire year. Okay, so do you have any like particular suggestions on how we can do, let's say, without like a DSU grant, or let's say improve our application process?
Wait, so is the question?
I mean, like the question, I mean, I guess relates to the previous ones,
Yeah.
but I mean, do you think we should rely on the DSU grants because it's like very unknown how much we'll get, or will you try planning without it?
I think we should ultimately try to move towards being self-sufficient. How we do that, I will need to see the accounts, you don't really know until you start. But I would say DSU grant is so unpredictable from what you told me, no reasons given, there's no appeal. So it seems to me it's not something we can really rely on. So I would try to plan without it. If we get the grant, then great, we can, either save it for the next year or put on more events, see how we can expand more. But I think try to plan without.
Yeah, I would definitely still try to get the DSU grant as much as possible, because the last two committees you said that you did not get so much, but the previous committee did get quite a bit. So there must be a particular reason why, maybe. So I would definitely still try to get it, but yes, I would also do something else so that I don't have to rely just on the DSU grant. Like as I said in my speech, that we can also have like there's so many other ways to for us to get some cash, so we can always try that out than just focusing on one source just to get our sponsors.
But what are your main ways to get funds rather than relying on the DSU grant? Sorry, I wasn't quite clear on your answers just now.
First was I talked to some companies about it.
Okay.
I think it would be better for us to talk to Malaysian companies, because then they would see the bond and they would be more willing to supply us with the cash, and also organize events to increase the cash volume. Yes, that events also may cost money, but it's just going to be like, if I have a car wash service, it's not going to cost so much for me.
Okay.
I'm planning of a proper hand car wash service where we go and stuff.
I don't want to sound rude, but I don't think that's feasible, because you don't get car wash service here in Durham. Like maybe back in Malaysia this idea would work, but I just want to know something that's sustainable, like something that works, because you give a lot of excellent ideas, but it's just not convincing enough for me to believe that it's gonna work. Because for the companies in Malaysia to approach, when are you gonna do it? Are you gonna do it in June? And because in your speech just now you said you're gonna get the company's logo to be promoted in the Freshers Fair. Freshers Fair is in November, October.
Yeah, so definitely I would start talking to the company as soon as I go back.
Okay.
So that I would have, I think it's easier for me to get sponsors from Malaysia itself. So I would definitely, the minute I go back, I would start talking to all of them.
So you're relying on that as your major source of income, that works?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I of course do have a plan B if that doesn't work when I come back here.
Which is?
And I'll try a Malaysian food sale and I'll discuss with my committee how can we actually increase the cash volume.
Okay, for me, I think we cannot run away from adjusting our membership pricing structure. Now I know this is not going to be the most popular decision, but I mean, this year is £14 for life membership, is it?
7.
Is it?
I
For
don't know
life.
where you came from.
Yeah, I mean, that's £4 or £5 per year. For the amount you get is really a steal, and that's probably one reason why it's been popular in past years. But I think even if you raise it, and I don't think people are going to be too put off by £5 increase. You're still getting a lot. And also I talk about possibly doing away with lifetime membership. Why? Is because you don't know how much funding you're going to get next year, you don't know how much sponsorship, you don't know what plans the exec has. say we keep it at £14 this year, and just hypothetically we put on very few events, very low budget. Then the next year's exec is, they really have a lot of events, a lot of you need to spend a lot. But the member from this year is still only paying the same amount per year, so you don't have enough money. So I think if we do away with lifetime membership, you might be able to better respond to each exec's plans, what you need. So I think membership pricing definitely would need to change.
So that's the way for you to cope with like the income if say you don't get a DSU grant. Change membership pricing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is for Wai Fung. So looking at your potential execs, the candidates running, it's a very heavy Stockton flavour to it, right? So I mean, we assume that, you're gonna be working with a lot of Stocktoners next year in your exec. So how will you, there'll definitely be like logistical issues, like how will everyone get there on time, how you're gonna buy items, because we buy our own drinks for every event, we buy like the cutleries, everything. So how will you deal with it, like in terms of communicating with your exec? Will you be like traveling down there, will they be coming up, or just give us some ideas.
When you say communicating, do you mean meetings or
what? Just like the whole range. Like, how will you meet them considering they're all in Stockton? How will you organise events? Organise events as in decide okay, you're gonna buy the forks and spoons, you're gonna buy the drinks, that kind of thing. Because they're all in Stockton, they can't be possibly bringing their their Coke and Pepsi from Stockton and they come to DSU. So will you be doing it all yourself, or will you think we're gonna say you're gonna come early for this round, that kind of thing?
I think coming early is. Wait, so your question is regarding.
It's a very long question. Yeah, it's just basically since a lot of them will be from Stockton. So how will you deal with it as a president? Because the society is going to be Durham based because of our members, right? So how will you cope?
I think in terms of meetings, I don't think it's too much of an issue. I think Nicole was telling me, you guys Skype or email, whatever, something like that. So in terms of meeting, I don't think it's too big of an issue. I also don't mind going to Stockton, every now and then. In terms of physically preparing for the events. If I may sell this, my house is just opposite the DSU, so I can store things there, whatever. But beyond that, I don't think it's too much to ask to come a bit earlier, or even you said bring a Coke or whatever. I don't know what else they will bring from Stockton for the events. But yeah, it's not too much, and I think if we need things that we need to store up, say Coke, it doesn't go bad. I can put it in my house, every week I buy one, and then so I don't think it's too big of an issue. Yeah.
The exec would be, a vast majority of them would be from Stockton. You would be from Stockton. The society is mainly in Durham. So how will you? How would that affect you organising events?
I would still definitely organise events in Durham, because majority of the DUMAS members are still in Durham.
Okay.
But I don't see an issue of me coming to Durham every week.
So you're willing to do that then?
Yes, I'm quite determined in doing that, so
Okay.
I don't find that an issue at all.
Okay, so basically you will sacrifice yourself. Not to say put it so bluntly, but yeah, you will come to Durham to sort out all the issues that need to be done. Is that it?
Yep, I'll definitely do that.
Just want to hear that commitment there. It's recorded, no turning back.
As a president, I think there are a few major responsibilities that you need to know how to handle well. So one of my first question that I've already asked is you need to know how to handle your finances. That's one. The second question is you need to know how to handle your committee, because you're the head. If your committee dislikes you, you're dead basically. So my question to you is, if your committee decides that you are a shitty president and no one likes you, what are you gonna do about it?
If I know that they do dislike me, I would.
Well, they're, I'm pretty sure your committee, if they dislike you, they're not gonna go sorry dude, I hate you. They're probably gonna do it behind your back, which is even worse. So if you somehow find out that your committee, you you cannot feel the collaboration between you and your committee. Either directly someone told you or indirectly. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna respond to this kind of situation? Are you gonna be like, it's okay guys, I don't need you, I'm the man, I can do it. Is that your approach? Or your second approach may be like, I don't know, or what are your thoughts?
I would definitely go and confront them first.
Confront them. Dude, you
like-
hate me?
Try to figure out like what did I do wrong
Okay.
that made this. So I would definitely try my best to change it, and to, if let's say our ideas were clashing, then I would definitely tell them to let's list out the pros and cons about this, and then see which one is better and go for that idea. So it's no more of my idea or your idea. It's we all listed out the pros and cons together, and
Okay.
we should go for the pros.
So basically what you're trying to say is you're just trying to find out like what your weaknesses are and let your committee know.
Yeah, let them tell me what is it, and I'll try my best to change it and become better.
Okay, so that's your approach. Yeah, that's good.
For me, I would, in the first place, try to prevent this kind of situation arising. How we do that is having, being very open. As a president, I would make sure I encourage, if you have any problems at all, you have to come to me, and don't worry about criticizing me, insult me, or whatever. At the end of the day, if I'm not doing something right and you think I should be doing it better, I'm willing to take that criticism for the benefit of the society. Supposing that such a situation were to arise, I think you need to, well, it depends how you find out, I guess, but you ask them, what is the problem, I think also apologize, and I think you need to find out what they want from you, what do they need from you in order to do their job. That kind of links back to the first part. You need to make sure that all your team members have what they need to do their job. So you don't ask someone to do a task when they have incomplete information or whatever. So I think just really promoting an open culture.
Do you see, under you, let's say, if any one of you, do you see DUMAS more focused, like locally, the questions I asked before, like locally with the other Durham University societies, or do you see a more northeast flavour to DUMAS? What would you prefer the society to do, and why?
Assuming we can't pick both.
Basically, where would your emphasis be? Would it be working with, let's say, Singsop, or would it be working with, Newcastle?
Both is equally important, definitely. And considering I'm already gonna collaborate for the Malaysian night with the others, I would then focus more on the society in Durham.
But if you were to pick one, let's say, where would your emphasis be? Like you say, I'm gonna definitely work with Singsop, or I'm definitely gonna work with the Northeast. Like, which one if you were to choose?
I would say Singsop, because first of all, I think it's a bit hard to, not hard, but it's not as convenient for someone here to go to Newcastle for an event. Some of them, quite a few of them come for our events, but for us going there, not so many. Also, every time you go there, you've got to pay £5 for your train ticket, whatever. I think what we can do at Singsop, you can raise, just say Singsop for example. When you have more numbers, people are going to hear about it. People will be interested, and that could generate, maybe one person will come to a meal that's more money, and then maybe they might become a member. You could have people like a lot of my Singaporean friends who, I just say come have Malaysian food, and then they end up becoming members. I think we have. Also, I don't know about the DSU regulations, whether we are how it works with Newcastle people and paying. But I think we have more chance of say Singaporeans, for example, being regulars at our events, contributing income to us regularly. So I would focus definitely on Durham.
Yeah, I would focus on Durham as well, because because at the end of the day we are still a Durham student, and it would be better for us to collaborate with the friends from here, so we can get to know each other better. The culture that, let's say, the Hong Kong society has can be shared to the Malaysian society, and the Malaysian culture can be shared between the Hong Kong society. Then just having with the others, like from Newcastle and stuff, yes, it is a good thing because we would be more well known than Northeast, but then it's just from Malaysian culture to a Malaysian culture. Now we can at least get to know more about the other cultures and get to know more about them per se.
Okay, you know how Malaysian society is like big on food and stuff, and then since you said that you prefer DUMAS to collaborate with societies in Durham,
Yeah.
do you think food-wise it will be an issue? Because our Malaysian food is different from like Singapore maybe
And it's
and Hong
halal as
Kong.
well.
Yeah, and you have to
Yeah.
think about beef. Like so those people can't eat beef, halal, vegetarian, everyone basically. So how would you want to like combat that problem?
So you're saying if we were to collaborate with other
Yeah,
societies?
and the
Yeah,
other
because that's what you
societies just
said.
don't want, can't, maybe can't afford it. How are we going to make it? Do you think it's a problem, food? Because
I think with sing salt possibly it's not a problem.
Mhm.
Well, I don't know how many Muslims are there or whoever who can't eat whatever. In terms of say Hong Kong society, I think you just need to be very clear about if you can confirm in advance what food there's going to be, and I don't know about Hong Kong people whether they have any food they don't eat. But yeah, I think just very clear labeling, and you make sure you don't contaminate between the food, and you need to show that you're doing this so that people trust you. So I don't think it's too big of a problem, but if it were, then that's how I would solve it.
Yeah, I really don't think that would be an issue, because if we are all collaborating, we'll definitely take into account each other's interests. Because if we screw up one event, we definitely may not have events in the future. So I don't think both sides would want that. So, and yeah, I would definitely cater to what my society likes, and they would cater to what their society likes, and we'll try to find a common ground from that.
Moving on from food, what other events would you be interested in organizing for the society next to? Like besides a food event, although we do love our food. So how can we diversify our events? Yeah. Like you say I'll emphasize on sports, I'll emphasize on careers, or what not.
I would emphasize more on the sporting events,
Okay.
and maybe have a dinner and dance, like a formal event.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, basically want DUMAS to go a little in all the directions. So maybe a sporting event, a charity. We already have our Malaysian festivals, and maybe a dinner and dance.
Okay.
I would not specifically be looking to put on more large-scale events, simply because that's another expense. I think we should focus on doing what we can, do it well. But I don't think that should stop us from looking into having more informal events, so say like sports or that kind of thing. Another thing which is not so much within our control, it's more if the opportunity arises, we can take it, is all those, Project Manat Negara or all these UK EC talks down south. If we can persuade, and this is very reliant on our members and who they know and whether they have connections. But we can try and invite speakers who are from those talks. You just say it's just, well, not just, but it's 3 hours up on the train, and there's a lot of people, as we saw with the Tony Pua talk. A lot of people from Newcastle and Northumbria are willing to come. That one we would have to collaborate with Newcastle, Northumbria, and whatever, so you can get the numbers. But yeah, I would look to seize upon any major events down south with where there are speakers who may be of interest to us.
If the opportunity arises there.
So, for Wai Fung, your plans on events for our society remains what we already have now. Just that if opportunities arises, you take it.
In terms of big events,
Okay.
I think, something like, before I came, maybe you guys had weekly sports or something like. If there's interest for that, and we can try and encourage interest, then I don't see why we can't put it on. Of course, the question is having enough people. We don't know how many freshers we're going to get next year. Obviously, say you want to play, I don't know, football, you can't play with, 4 people or whatever. Yeah. What were you going to say after that?
So right now, I'm just trying to get an idea of what is your event scope for like the society. Whether is it gonna just be like the regular events that we have now, or you're gonna like branch out to have a bit more events. So from what I can tell from what you're trying to say is that you're gonna have the current events now that we're having, and if the opportunity arises, and like you said, if there's members to do it, you do it.
Yeah.
But okay, for Deepti, your plans is to get a couple new events, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes. I believe that we only had around 5 events
Yeah, and
this
you.
term, and we are roughly here about 8-9 months.
Yeah, and
So
you
I
feel
believe
it
we can
needs a
organize
bit more.
at least an event a month.
Yeah.
So we should at least have 9 events.
Okay. So. Okay.
8-9 events.
8 to 9 events.
Yeah.
That's.
That is a
that's
lot of work.
actually more than an event a month. That's more like 2 because thinking about it, your first event is probably going to be like middle of October, so it's going to be like
Yeah.
October, November, December. Nobody's here in December.
Yes.
So January, February, March, April. That's only 6 months. So if it's 6 events, it's 6 events for like 6 events a month, 1 event. So if you want to have 9 events, more like 2 events a month. That's a lot to do.
I think if we are quite determined in it, I don't think that's a problem at all.
Yeah, but the members
That
are not
is-
determined if you're determined. That's the thing. That's the thing that we're facing as a society. The committee wants to do something. That's good. But the members are not willing. So I think I'm straying away from the topic, but I just want to know on like what are your plans basically. Just want you to elaborate more.
This is what I already said.
Yeah, it's just like okay, anyway, I think I just sorry about that, sorry.
I think what you're saying is people are not
Like they're not willing
Yeah,
to come for.
it's just the struggle in this that's making the president's heads like exploding, because I'm pretty sure Sean faced the same kind of problem with NSR.
I guess it's like
Yeah,
just telling
it's-
you guys what you guys are getting yourself into. It's just
Yeah.
You might have all the plans like that you think is
Yeah.
possible, but in the end it doesn't work out because the members think like, oh, this is too much for us. Yeah. Okay, yeah, but that wasn't a question.
No, I'm
think.
just
Sorry.
trying to
Yeah,
think of
go
how
on.
trying to understand how you're gonna cope with situations like this.
I think early planning and early notice is very important. Say like you want people to go to Nottingham, that's 1 weekend gone. You need to tell them right at the beginning, tell them at the DUMAS welcome, or you send out even in the very first email, you say, this is not, even if you don't have the confirmed date yet, I don't know when they release the date, but you say, roughly in the third week of November,
Yeah.
there'll be this sports thing. If you're interested, let's get a team together, and it's a really great experience. You can even say in the pre-departure, and I think you need to also have a mailing regular newsletter. Of course, you don't have a newsletter if you don't have news, but you can just regularly remind people, rather than the Facebook post, then every week there's a new post, and say Nottingham Games, it just gets pushed down and down behind the other events. So I think when people are more aware, they're going to know in advance to plan around it, if I have a deadline coming up, I'll make sure I do it, so I'm free to go for Nottingham Games or whatever. And yeah, I think you also need to give people the chance to take ownership, feel like that they are also, it's not like there's the exec, here's us, they're just putting on events for us. That also, we are contributing to DUMAS, at the end of the day, DUMAS is a result of what we do as well. And you need to really recognize that work so that people are, they don't feel at the end, I put so much time into this and I didn't get anything out of it. So recognition is very important.
Okay.
I believe you should approach them personally also, because it's definitely harder to say no if you approach them personally. And maybe because our events, they may think that it's just fine, it's just a Diwali event. Yeah, they're just gonna eat, talk, see some shows. That's about it. So we should bring something interesting in that event. We should try to do something different than what has been doing.
Okay.
So that would definitely attract them to see. Let's go. It may be something different. This may be something nice.
So to approach them personally, your plans, is it something like, do you want to set up a booth in front of the library to say, we've got a Diwali event happening, then do you want to come? How do you approach them personally?
As in, definitely, let's say first we meet at a pre-departure briefing.
Okay.
I would already know some freshers.
Okay, yeah.
My other team will already know the others. So we should follow up in that. When we have another event, message them, hey, can you come for this event? It'll be really great and stuff. And if I do see them on the way, let's just talk and meet them and tell them that you guys should come and stuff. You should not just post and you want to come, you come. You don't want to come, it's fine.
Okay. Just basically be more direct, be more personal with the member. Okay.
Okay. So, do we have any further questions, or will we let them off the hook already?
Oh, if no one wants to ask, I've got a few more. So sorry, guys. Just this is precedent, so I'm really hoping you guys are aware of what you're going to get yourself into, because president is not an easy job. You can ask Sean, he might be smiling all now, but deep inside, he has had a hell of a time.